Hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I want to talk about 10 secrets that most people don't know in BDO. And if you're a veteran player, you might know it, but this game is very unintuitive and you kind of have to go out of your way to get a lot of knowledge in this game. So I wrote down 10 different things that I think might be useful for all of you guys, especially for you beginners out there. And, you know, if you want to learn some tips that will probably help you on a day-to-day if you incorporate it, I think these are good to know. So I have actually a lot more than 10, but for the sake of not making an hour-long video, let's only do 10 for this one. So number one, mass processing. A lot of people don't actually know you could do this. You just have to have like a monostone set up if you do like various other processing. But one important thing that they introduced recently, but they didn't really talk about it outside of patch notes, so, you know, a majority of people don't actually read the patch notes, is Imperial Delivery. So I did this one. I got mine set up so I could show you this one. If you do Imperial Delivery, you could process by 10s and then 100s. So back in the day, we would have to actually process these one at a time, and that took so long. But I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So I made some Valencia meals for the sake of making it easy. What you would do is step one, go to your Imperial Cuisine. This is not new. And you need this heavy duty packaging cord. And you could buy this at, you know, the NPCs in basically every town, the Old Moon Manager. And you do this. So this one, if you do this combination, this makes 10 of them at a time. If you add a Blackstone powder, this makes 100 at a time. So yeah, you could do this. And if you were to process, like, you could do it one at a time, 10 and 100. So you do 100 and then another 100, and I'll show you how to do it by 10s. And then you do this again. If you just did this, this would make it one at a time, 10, and then 100, but we only have enough of that. So speed up your Imperial Delivery every single day. I hope you're not doing it one at a time, because this is literally a 2-minute activity. You get all your boxes, you turn it in, and then that was literally like a minute. All right, so the next thing I want to show you after we finish up this processing, I'll turn it in later just to save time. All right, so after we do that, you guys know how I talked about how buying these blessing things is not really worth it. And I talked about how you can get triple value by not doing this. This is very convenient. But if you are in a guild and your guild does life skills, here's what you could do. It doesn't matter if you're in town or you're at like a grind spot. What you could do is, if your guild has one, you could quick travel to the guild manor. And the guild manor is essentially the same thing as like your house, and you could get buffs from there. So it doesn't matter. Let's say you're halfway to your grind spot and you're like, oh, I forgot to get the buff, but I don't want to spend 30 million. Just make sure to talk to your guild about it. Maybe you are the one doing the crafting to get these. So these are the equivalent. Our guild has them, and this is basically it. So you know these things where you get your AP buffs? Yeah, you can do that too. And it doesn't matter where you are, so as long as your guild has them set up. By the way, my FPS just tanked. This is such a nice house, by the way, but our guild manor, it looks so nice, but it drops my FPS every time I'm in here, so I gotta in and out. But yeah, quick tip. If your guild has it and you forgot to use your buff, make sure to, you know, be the one to start it. And yeah, there's a quick button in your guild that also has it. Very cool, right? The next thing I want to talk about is locking items. Now, this sounds really silly, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I've seen people, you know, not lock their items, and then suddenly they accidentally melt their costumes, and they're like, oh no, I melted it because I didn't lock it. Make sure to lock your items. You can even lock outfits and all the other things at the bottom. Very cool, right? Just make sure to lock it so you don't accidentally delete items. You could even put these into Patrigo bag. That's actually getting changed in, I believe, next week's update, where they're gonna have like a band-aid fix, like wardrobe, so you can just put everything in. It's kind of dumb, but you know, for the sake of like convenience, make sure to put all your outfits in here, and so you could quick swap them one at a time and hit like change, and then, you know, not accidentally melt it. But the stuff that isn't in here, like, just make sure to lock everything. Some people don't know. How do you do it? Take a piece of gear and then hold shift. Like literally at the bottom in the tooltip, it tells you unlock, lock all your gear. Stresses me out when I like accidentally. I've never actually been that person to accidentally get rid of an outfit, but just make sure to lock it, and that problem will never happen. Very cool, right? All right, the next thing. This is especially important whether you are on, like, it doesn't matter if you're on console or on PC. Changing your field of view. Now, this is something that you should be doing on day one, but at the same time, you know, messing with all your settings, playing around with all the camera things. But in most games in general, not even just BDO, the more you see, the better, like, you'll be doing. So, like, by default, I believe it's not even at 100. So let's just say it's at 0. I don't think it's this zoomed in. Like, you see how you don't really see anything? Zoom that out to 100. Whatever it is on console, just max it out. PC, max it out as well. The more you see, the better you'll be doing, especially in PvE when you can actually see things, especially PvP too. So adjust your FOV. This is something you should be doing on day one if you start the game. And it doesn't even really specifically just BDO. It's like literally every game. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is fast skill points. Now, this is something that I see new players doing all the time. At the bottom right here, it literally tells you what you can do. So let's say you don't have any points. And you know what I see people doing? I see them clicking one at a time. Here's what you could do. Hold shift or equivalent on console, and then all in one. Saves time, especially because next week they're going to be resetting everyone's add-ons because of, you know, big formula changes. That's just going to happen. So yeah, make sure if you're watching this today, make sure to take a screenshot of your add-ons. They're going to be reset. All your extra presets, chances are, also going to be reset. So yeah, take a screenshot of all your add-ons for both Succession Awakening and any other class you play, and you're going to be fixing them next week. So yeah, also, once again, shift, right click, shift, left click, all in one. Stop clicking them one at a time. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is my UI layout and how to get all the different sets. So people have asked me, how do you get your bars like this? How do you make it look, you know, different? And, you know, by default, you only get one row of them, and these are actually separated. So let me show you how. So these QS means quick slots. CD is cooldown. Cooldowns are essentially the equivalent of this thingy. And you know how this one has a little timer that goes like ding, 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 and then it tells you what is happening, which skill is off cooldown. This thing, I guarantee you, it's nice to have, but most people aren't specifically looking at this. What I would recommend to everyone else is to organize some cooldown bars instead of having the whole skill cooldown, because this puts literally everything. And this one, you can organize your rotation. So like I have mine set up like very specifically. So for example, these two, my opener would be like that into that, and then flow with this one, and then this one with the flow as well. So it'd be like that one and flowing, and then some skills require you to have a hotkey bar on, some of them don't. I think it's better for everyone to learn how to use the actual skills for everything, and like not having to put everything on hotbar, just because I believe it like actually goes faster if you're manual pressing instead of, you know, let's say spamming the 2 button like that. Well, that's a bad example because this is the one that literally you can only use on hotbar. But like instead of for these two, this is a shift F and then a shift R and B. I honestly feel like it's a little bit slower if I were to press 4 and then 6. Like you can't animation cancel it as easily or smoothly. Whereas if you're like doing, you know, this one it looks a little bit faster if you just press like the button combo instead of one at a time. I don't know, it just feels that way. Maybe yours is different, but I think to learn your class, it's better to actually just learn the combos. And I know that takes time. I don't think it's particularly bad to put it on your hotbar. It just feels a little bit slower. All right, the next thing is actually, hold on, let me see. While we're still on the UI and we just talked about the cooldowns, how to change your setup if you're doing life skilling. So like, let's say this is your normal outfit, right? And then you want to go cooking, right? So what you want to do is actually put your, let's say you have a pearl outfit that allows you to do cooking stuff and speed up whatever. What you would do is put that in a Patrigo bag and then quick slot this onto one of your quick slot keys, right? So like if I put mine on F7, now I have all three. Because I've seen a lot of people, they have the entire inventory and they're just doing this one and just like click, 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 and then there's a like cooldown on that one. So just put it on your hotbar and then put the Patrigo bag. I believe they're actually going to make that easier. I think as of next week when they do the like mini wardrobe update. So either way, if you're doing whatever life skilling, the ones I'd recommend doing are processing. This one you probably do more than anything. Cooking is also important. And also like one I have here is for my life skilling. So whether you're grinding or life skilling, this is what I do. Like if I do life skilling, you can swap all your accessories all in one. It's actually very convenient. And then this is the new one for horses that, you know, it's actually really nice for horses. But aside from that, yeah, make sure to just quick slot the important ones. A lot of these are mostly just outfits. I just don't want to melt down over time. But the important ones that do actually have an effect, you might want to hotkey those. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the mini-map tips. Now, some people don't actually know this. I don't even remember how I figured this out. I think I was just in a call one day, and then people are like, oh, did you know you can do this? So let's say, I've talked about this one before, but I'm going to talk about it because people just still don't know it. So like, let's say you want to look at a different part of the map. This is what I see people doing. So number one, let's say we're going to, I don't know, somewhere else, like Valencia. Here's what I see people doing. Let's say we're starting at Heidel. And then one tip, instead of doing this, you could drag it, but it's a little bit slower. What you could do is click here and then click over here. It takes you to the region. But if you want to look at a point more specifically, let's say you're over here and you want to get to that. What you would want to do is hit Alt or equivalent on console and then put it on a number. So like, what it would do is if you, let's say I have this one on 1, but let's say I wanted to be, if I wanted to look here in particular in Valencia, like let's say on Pilgrim's Haven, right? You would zoom in, hit save the preset on an Alt plus number, and then it'll be like zoomed in when we get it. So like whatever your camera looks like, for example, like this, it'll look like that. So let's go back into Heidel, right? And then, so what we did was saved a preset. And then when we hit 1, it's saved exactly like that. So it's actually really nice. I have a lot of things, set. So like for different things you do every day, like 1, this is my 1, 2 for Grana, 3, Morning Light, Ulakita. I think this is when I was talking about my hunting video. But yeah, there's a lot of things. It's a lot easier than just like dragging your wheel and doing all this. Set it on hotkeys and then it goes by really quickly. So very nice to know, isn't it? Next thing I want to talk about is actually we just talked about that. Quick hotkeys, we talked about that. And then cooldowns. And then one other thing I want to talk about is using the party finder. I've said this before, but it's just not used as often as you should think it is. For an MMO, obviously people do group content. There's a thing called Find Party in Platoon. I have it pinned over here, but it's called Find Party / Platoon. What you would do here is if you want to find a group for whatever, like grind spot, dungeons, Ataraxian like dungeons or, you know, weekly bosses, this is where you find it. Post an ad, what it looks like, say what you want, how many people. I wish this was a customizable option, because people who grind group spots, usually group spots are 2 to 3. Like Olin's is 3. There are duo spots. So, you know, 5 and 20. I wish this was more customizable, so it could be like 3 people, 2 people, you know, whatever. Or like 50 if you wanted. But I don't even think it can do that. Either way, level is mostly irrelevant, but it is what it is. If I were to change it, it would just be the number of people that you could have in a party. So like 3 max, 2 max, and then whatever you want to do. So if you're looking to do dungeons, especially if you're getting into Ataraxian stuff or the weekly party dungeons, like these Black Shrine things, like the party ones, it's definitely good to look at this over time. A lot of people don't know it exists, and as well as the Ataraxian party matching. So if you're thinking about trying them out, these are only on normal, but if you find a good group and you're like, oh, let's try the hard mode, just learn to make friends and communicate with people, and you could, you know, do it on hard mode next time. Just make some friends in this game. This is an MMO. All right, well, anyway, that has been 10 tips that I thought was helpful for you guys, and I actually have a lot more, so if you guys wanted to see a part 2 in the future, just let me know, and drop a quick like. We have a lot of stuff changing next week with formulas and everything, so I'm going to be doing a lot of testing, and there'll be a lot of videos coming out. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you come back. And whether you're a new player, returning player, or someone who's just looking to get better at this game, I have a lot of videos. So just search up like whatever you need on YouTube, like be like my name and then whatever you're looking for. Chances are I have a video of it. And if not, feel free to just ask or join the Discord, and I'll point you in the right direction. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Peace.